So you've probably heard the term zero trust getting thrown around a lot. But what does it actually mean? Today, we're going to cut through all that hype to really understand why this isn't just another buzzword, but a pretty radical and important shift in how we think about security. Let's dive in.
First up, we'll talk about why the old way of doing security is just broken. Then we'll look at its replacement, this whole zero trust mindset, and really deconstruct how it works. We'll see why it's a perfect fit for the modern cloud, and we'll wrap up with the single biggest takeaway about what the new security perimeter really is. All right, so to really get zero trust, you first have to understand the problem it's built to solve. For decades, we thought about security kind of like a castle with a big moat around it. But in the world we live in today, that castle has basically fallen. The perimeter is gone.
And this quote from Cloudify, man, it just gets right to the heart of the problem. The old castle and moat idea was built on one simple premise. If you're inside the network, we trust you. But think about what that means. If an attacker steals just one password, just one set of credentials, they're in. And once they're in, they can see pretty much everything. So why did that old model crumble? Well, because the so-called perimeter has totally dissolved. Our applications are in the cloud, our data is spread out across a dozen different services, and our people are working from literally everywhere. There's no single clean wall to protect anymore. This messy, fragmented world needs a completely new game plan for security. So how did we try to patch this problem? For years, the go-to answer was the VPN. But as you're about to see, the VPN was really just an attempt to stretch that old, broken wall a little bit further. You see, the fatal flaw of a VPN is something called implicit trust. Once you log in, the VPN basically teleports you inside the corporate network, giving you a wide-open view of everything. So if an attacker gets a hold of your account, they can now move laterally. That is, they can jump from system to system, sniffing around for valuable data. The VPN doesn't solve the perimeter problem. It just stretches it out to your house or the coffee shop or wherever you are. And this brings us to the main event, the new paradigm. Zero Trust isn't just a fancier VPN. It's a completely different philosophy about how to approach security from the ground up. Here's the official definition from the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST. But let's just pull out the key phrases here. It's about moving away from static perimeters and instead focusing on users, assets, and resources. And the guiding principle, the core mantra, is simple, but it's so powerful. Never trust, always verify. Every single request to access anything is treated as potentially hostile until it's proven to be safe.
Now, NIST breaks this philosophy down into 7 core tenets. We won't read the whole list, but let's highlight a couple that are absolute game changers. Check out number 2. All communication is secured regardless of network location. That means it doesn't matter if you're in the office or on public Wi-Fi, the security rules are exactly the same. And now look at number 4. Access is determined by a dynamic policy. This means the system is constantly asking questions, not just who are you, but also is your laptop patched? Are you connecting from a weird location? Is your behavior normal? Only then does it grant access.
Okay, so that's the big idea, the philosophy. But how does this actually work in the real world? How does a system enforce this never trust, always verify rule? Let's take a look under the hood at the architecture. To get this, we need to separate 2 key concepts. First, you have the control plane. Think of this as the brains of the whole operation. It's the policy engine that decides who gets to access what, when, and how. Then you have the data plane, which is the brawn. It's the plumbing that actually moves the data packets around, but it only does what the control plane tells it to do. This separation is what makes those smart, dynamic decisions possible. This diagram from NIST shows the basic model in its simplest form. So on the left, you've got some untrusted device, a laptop, a phone, whatever. On the right, you have the resource it wants to get to. And right in the middle, there's a critical gateway called a policy enforcement point, or PEP. Just think of it like a security checkpoint. Nothing gets through without its explicit approval. And the goal is to make that implicit trust zone over on the right as tiny as humanly possible, ideally just protecting one single app at a time. Okay, now this diagram shows the full picture. That policy engine, the brains we just talked about, doesn't make decisions in a vacuum. It's constantly pulling in data from all these different sources you see here. Things like threat intelligence feeds, device health information, and identity systems. It's asking in real time, is this user who they say they are? Is their device secure? Is there any known threat associated with this request? And only when all the checks pass does it tell the policy enforcement point, that security checkpoint, to open the gate. This entire architecture, This whole complex system is designed to stop one critical threat, lateral movement. And this is an attacker's bread and butter. Once they get inside a traditional network, they can just wander around freely, completely unchecked, hopping from system to system until they find the crown jewels, your most valuable data.
And this table right here, this brings the difference into sharp focus. With a VPN, you get access to the entire network. But with Zero Trust Network Access, or ZTNA, you only get a key to one specific application. A VPN trusts you once at login. ZTNA is always verifying. And the bottom line? Just look at those last two rows. Lateral movement is enabled by VPNs, but it's pretty much eliminated by ZTNA. An attacker can't attack what they can't even see. And in a ZTNA world, if you're not authorized for an app, it's completely invisible to you.
So where does this new model really shine? Where does it come into its own? Well, it's in the modern cloud-native world. You could say it's a native fit.
I mean, think about modern cloud applications. They aren't these big, single programs anymore. They're built from dozens, sometimes hundreds, of tiny, independent services, we call them microservices, that are constantly changing and talking to each other. In this dynamic, distributed world, there is no perimeter. So a model that's based on securing every single interaction and giving every service the absolute minimum privilege it needs, well, it's not just a good idea, it's absolutely essential.
And you know, the good news is you don't have to flip a switch on this overnight. This slide lays out a really practical way to migrate. You start by looking at what you have now and identifying your most important apps. Then, as you can see in step 3, you can start rolling out ZTNA right alongside your old VPN. Over time, you can tighten the policies and eventually decommission that old broad network access for good.
Okay, let's bring all this home with the most important takeaway from this entire explainer, what the new security perimeter actually is.
This quote just perfectly captures the evolution we've been talking about. First, the cloud came along and dissolved the perimeter we knew. Then, the VPN tried to stretch that broken wall all around the globe, which was really just a band-aid. But ZTNA, Zero Trust, takes the final, logical step. It accepts that the wall is gone and just removes the whole concept of a trusted inside network.
So, if the network is no longer the perimeter, what is? Here it is. This is the single most important takeaway. In a zero-trust world, the new perimeter is identity. Security isn't about where you are anymore, it's about who you are. It's all built around verifying the identity and the context of every user and every device for every single request they make.
And that brings us to our final question, the one that every single organization really needs to be asking itself. If your network is no longer the perimeter, what is? The answer to that question is going to define your security strategy for the next decade. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.